Hello, everybody. I'm KillerChair.
I'm Timelink.
I'm Ajma.
And we're going to be playing Megaman 04. As you can clearly tell on the screen, it's set to Japanese.
I wonder why.
Gee. Why do you think speedrunners choose different languages?
Text boxes?
Yeah, text boxes. Lots of text boxes. We want less of them. Japanese works for that. I'm playing on the Legacy Collection because that's a very convenient way to play. It's very comfy. And you got this bopping intro track here.
True.
So we're gonna get that booted up. Hello, Nordic. I heard a banner was chosen for along the sides, as you can tell now.
Indeed, it was the first one. It was Zero and is it CL?
Yep.
Yes.
All right.
There
Cool.
we go. Look at
Very
them.
nice.
The main characters of the series, pretty much.
I wonder why that was chosen.
Is there anything we want to say before starting?
This is definitely a very, very fast-paced and intense speedrun, so we'll probably be covering a lot of the commentary.
Most of it.
There's a lot that sure will need to focus for. There's a lot of really hard stages. The Zero series in general is not known for messing around. It's like Megaman's already pretty difficult to begin with, but the Zero series is like among the hardest out there.
And fun fact, this is actually my first ever speedrun. For some reason, I decided starting with the Mega Man Zero game was a good idea. So here we are.
The mistake speedrunners
so
make
good.
when they choose their games.
Yeah, so, playing this game for any event means a lot to me personally, and I'm ready to go. Let's get started in 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Right off the bat, Chair is going to be adjusting his control scheme right here. We start this game with 3 weapons. We have the Z-Buster, we have the Z-Saber, and new to this game, we have the Z-Knuckle, which we're going to be using a lot in the intro stage immediately. The Z-Knuckle is unique in that if you land the finishing blow on an enemy with it, you basically grab their weapon. And there's a lot of useful weapons for us. You saw Chair earlier. He grabbed a crate, basically a bomb crate, and you can see right now in his secondary weapon slot there's that times 3. That means he has 3 of those bombs to use, and we'll be using them right here on the intro stage boss because we're already at the end of this first stage. This is the Sub-Desert Core. We're going to be starting with a charge slash because he already has one, comboing that into a triple slash, and then we'll alternate that with the bombs, throwing the bombs, giving him time to charge up a slash, and then we're already done.
Stage 1. The grenades are the best Z-Knuckle weapon in the game, by the way.
There's many best Z-Knuckle weapons in the game. We've established this in practice. There's going to be a lot of story going on here right now. Chair needs to talk to a bunch of NPCs, hit a bunch of story triggers. I will use this time to not cover the story, but cover the next stage instead, because there's a lot to be said about that. And Chair will need some focus once we get there. So the next stage is going to be Area 0. We're going to be doing... Why do I say we? Chair is going to be doing something we call...
We're on the same boat here, okay?
Hive mind.
That we call the brain cell at this hour.
That we call Area 0 Manip, where this game has a crafting system where enemies can drop parts. They have a 1 in 8 chance to do so, and there's a specific part that we're looking to craft later on in the run, and we need 4 specific enemy drops for that. 2 of them can be found in this stage, and so Chair is going to be trying to play the stage a very consistent way because the RNG resets at the start of the stage to a known value in order to try and guarantee those part drops at the end. And I'll shut up now. Alright, if everything has gone right... Oh no, that's unfortunate.
That's fine.
I think that unfortunately kills them.
Yeah.
Commentator's curse. Everything is going all right. Spike
I'm so sorry.
Just gotta go jank out of the
Look,
way
look,
early,
it's RNG manipulation. Like, seriously, okay?
Yeah. It's not actually that bad of an issue. The enemies that we were looking to get parts from here still appear in later stages. We'll get the parts later at the absolute latest moment that we can if we need to. That one was we were looking for a part drop, and this one, unfortunately, neither of them dropped a part. That's okay. They're relatively easy to farm, and we'll just have to spin a little there later.
But that whole stage is one RNG manip, so if you mess up one thing, everything could go wrong. So it's,
yeah,
you know,
you have to keep that manip to the end of the stage, and everything he did was very specific, even if like he looked like he was wasting time. This is, I think he's just straight up called CFO. He's definitely a reference to CFO from Megaman X2. The strat here, as you can see, is we're going to be charging the Z knuckle and then using a triple slash while the triple slash is going on, we're once again charging the Z knuckle in the background. That's the cool thing with the Zero series. You have a main weapon and a sub weapon. And while you're using the main weapon, you can charge the sub weapon in the backhand, vice versa. There's also, so bosses in the Zero series, how it works damage-wise with your weapons is really intricate. There's basically priority values assigned to every single action that Zero can do. And if you put a boss in iframes with something, and then you hit them again with something that has a higher priority value, it'll hit, and it'll put the boss in iframes again. So like, you know, the way that the triple slash actually works is that the first slash causes iframes, but the second and the third slash override it respectively, which I think is a change from the previous iterations. And there's going to be like a lot of cool things we do with that. We're going to be getting a lot of weapons that'll help us make cool combos on bosses because they have even higher priority values.
Mm-hmm. On that screen just now, that's the weather system. Do you remember how that works?
It's basically the difficulty that you can set a stage to. So different weather effects affect the difficulty of the stage. And if you basically set the stage to the hard difficulty, you will get a special weapon of the bosses at the end. So there is like obviously routing to this in a speedrun where you want specific stages to be on the hard difficulty setting and other stages where you, for example, do not want the, you know, quote-unquote special drop from the boss. You just set it to easy to have a little bit of an easier time actually getting through this because this game is very hard. As you probably already saw, because, you know, we died in the second stage.
Yep.
Yeah, this is Popla Cocapetri. The reason we go here first is is because of his EX skill, like mentioned. His EX skill is called the Time Stopper. It is a Buster EX skill, and that'll be coming in handy a lot for like almost all of the future stages because it's an EX skill that we can use to shred through mini bosses extremely fast. And this stage does have a mini boss on paper, but it's not one in the typical way, and we can very easily take care of it.
I'm actually gonna take a quick
that's very
reset.
fair. Chair game overing right here. Get his lives back.
Just deliberately, because the boss of this stage is one where you tend to take a death, and you really don't want to get a death on the boss of the stage, because you'll go all the way back.
Because he already lost a life in the stage before that, and then lost another. He was down to 0 lives. So if he even would get to the boss, as he said, he would probably take a death there, and that would be again over. You have to do the whole stage again. So good decision.
Very inconveniently in this stage, you kind of just, with the way the speedrun works out, you arrive there with like half your health, roughly.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. Like, we do a bunch of damage boosts beforehand, and then we enter the boss arena and at probably about half health, and then, you know, Popla Cocapetri is a bird, and you know the speedrun saying that birds are jerks. It is unfortunately also true here. It is a boss that's very RNG dependent. If you get a bad pattern, he can just kill you, and there's nothing you can really do about it. So definitely a good tactical game over.
So these blocks are basically on a global cycle as soon as you start the stage, and that is basically why KillerChair took a death there the first time he was there, because he was just a little bit off getting there, and that just kind of messed up the cycles that he was used to doing. And just that slight hesitation, because we all know hesitation is defeat, right? Cost him the death there.
Yeah. This mini-boss, well, so this is the quote-unquote mini-boss that I was talking about. It's very interesting in that, you know, all they have to do is pull out all of these hooks with the Z-knuckle. And what makes it more interesting is that, you know, you see this thing submerged into the ground. Depending on which hook you finish with, you get to take a different route. Chair opted to finish with one of the top hooks and is going this route, and we got a very important part drop that we need, so that's good.
That's one of the parts that I tried to do the manip for earlier, and it just...
Yeah.
There it is.
You can also go bottom route, which has one of the other enemies that we tried to manip for. It really, like, does not matter much in terms of time, though. Nice perch drop from the Metro.
Yeah. Yeah, this room is always very dangerous because you never arrive here consistently. And as we said, the blocks are on a global cycle from stage start. Now a very specific
Very good climb, though.
thing here.
So he's basically using his iframes
Nice.
to, get hit by that little rocket that the enemy shoots to be able to dash across the insta-death spikes,
Yep.
making this go a little bit quicker.
Chicken.
Babak.
Yeah. This is Popla Cocapetri. He hurts a lot if he runs into you. He can also do that and freeze you. He has feathers. He has these acid bombs. He has a time-stopping attack. He's not a very nice guy. Sometimes he will just be a problem. He has got egg bombs. We're going to see his time stop right here. You do not want to see that. Usually you can avoid it because he does that at low health, but we didn't take a death anyway, so...
Guess I did not need to take that game over.
Yeah, sometimes he can be really aggressive. He'll just keep running into you, jumping into you. It is not something you want to leave up to luck.
Yeah, literally the worst things to me are like him just running forward or taking a small jump.
Yeah.
Those can really trip you up sometimes.
It's always interesting to me, when bosses have all sort of different attacks, but the most damaging thing is their body themselves when they just, ram into you.
Greetings from Megaman 4.
So I think somewhere after the mid-boss fight is a good moment for donations. Just cluing that in. Before then, we have a few things like giving this guy a hug. There we go.
True. This is Noble Mandrago. In this stage, the Z-Knuckle is exceptionally good because you can pull out these vines instantly, and you can also pull out these flower enemies out of the ground if they haven't finished growing, which you can just dash up to them, grab them in there, chuck them away, just like that. Get through this section with no problems. And here we're going to be having our first actual mid-boss, which you're going to see share menu right here. Equip the Time Stopper as well as Buster and Saber. And what we're going to be doing here is something called damage stacking. Basically, Time Stopper, what it does, it shoots out this little window that freezes enemies in place temporarily. They kind of don't want you doing that to mid-bosses, so it disappears instantly. However, while it is on the mid-boss, for the couple frames that it is, we can overlap it with a Charge Slash, and then while both of those damage sources exist on the mid-boss, for all of those frames that those coexist, the Charge Slash will hit every single frame. I believe for 7 damage, and mid-bosses in this game have a lot of HP, so that just kind of melts through them. We'll see this technique used a lot.
So I'm going to have to farm here for a bit since we need the other part drop. So Nordic, all yours.
Right on. We've got $40 that came in from the only one. This was for the last run. This was the 20 blue coin gang. Shoutouts to Haywire for making that mod, and shoutouts to Azak as well. And shoutouts to you, the only one. Thank you very much. We've got $10 from the only Joey.
Hey.
Of all the great runs KillerChair does, this one hits just different. Shout out to the Warehouse, BSG Marathon, and all the ESA crew, and also, hi chat. We got $4.44 from our very own Tempest Mask 1000 there in chat.
Yo,
Tempest Mask says, "Oh, how I was waiting for this moment. Best of luck, Chair. Always ready to support a Mega Bro, rocking a game that puts the rock in Rockman. Major shout out to Inti Creates, the original dev, and Capcom for the franchise. Also, hi Timely and Ashima."
Hi, Tempest!
Hey there.
Right, this is Mandrago. She's kind of a luck-based boss, but we mitigated for the most part. What you can do is drill underground and emerge from the ground or ceiling, but we can use the Z-Knuckle to just pull her out, and we mostly mitigate it. She can still be annoying because she likes to go invincible, but it's usually okay. The EX skill we got from Noble Mandrago, because we did also play that stage on Hard Weather, is the... I forget what it's called. It's the down stabbing move for the Saber. And that one's going to be very useful for bosses, because that thing has a higher priority value than our triple slash. So we can use our triple slash and then that, and it's actually a lot of damage just on its own.
All right, and here's a basically free RNG minute.
This one's free to do at home. You follow along.
Kill that guy, dash a few more times, charge attack, triple slash, there it is.
Yep. That is another one of the parts that we needed. We have 3 out of them now. The 4th we'll also be getting in this stage, but the 4th is a very big problem. We'll get to that in a little. Before that, we have this Fire Dragon mini-boss coming up, which has 128 HP, if I'm not mistaken. So this would usually take ages, and it can still take ages if it does attacks like this, but with the damage stacking with Time Stopper, it's going to go by a lot quicker than you usually see. A 2 cycle is very good on that. Alright. This is our public enemy. We hate this guy.
Yep.
This is the last drop that we need. This guy is called Fatal, and he can truly be fatal to your run because
this is where most of the resets will come from, if you're practicing a bunch.
Yeah. So what we're hoping for is that one of them just along the way, as we make our way through the laser cannon, just drops apart. If not, there's one just past the laser cannon that we can and will need to farm. Unfortunately, it looks like we did not get a part drop on the way. So there's this guy. I don't know if we have a name for him. I feel like we should, but
Charles.
All right, Charles. We'll just need to farm Charles for this part drop because it is incredibly useful. I don't think I've mentioned yet what we're going to craft. We're going to use these parts to craft the double jump part. What it does should be pretty self-explanatory, and you can probably imagine why that's good as well in a platformer. We really, really want that. It is not only fast, but also like, it makes the movement much, much nicer in general. It is something we really want, and we'll just kind of have to bank on this 1 in 8 part drop. This is the most dreadful part of the run every time. You just
every time.
Hope
you can
get
probably see why this can be an absolute run killer, because as if that, it's a 1 in 8 drop if you haven't gotten it on the way here in this little laser cannon section. And well, Charles isn't exactly the most accommodating to the run
Come on.
now. Like he is being an absolute.
There we go.
I think it just needs a little bit of encouragement here from the audience.
And we got a
Thank
life.
you, audience.
We got a life drop, so that means shout outs to Megaman 5.
True. Alright. Coming up next is Genblem. He's going to start on the ground, and we can try and do some combos with the triple slash and the down stab. But usually what he'll quickly do is go into his shell and then spin around the arena and attack from mid-air, where it's a lot harder to do. So yeah, this is where he goes into his shell. There is a really cool strat here where you can continue down-stabbing him even though he's so high up. But you have to take the damage boost on the tiny flames there, and it's not easy to execute. So
Yeah, the hitbox is very finicky.
Yeah, Chair's doing the safe merry-go-round here, and that's it.
Pretty consistent, though. And now we're going to craft the double jump. So just in case, I never forget, but I do have my notes if my phone wants to unlock.
Yeah, the thing is, all of the part names are going to be in Japanese, and
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are fluent in Japanese.
I've
So
pretty much memorized the symbols that I need to input, but
yeah, it's relatively easy to memorize after a while, but
yeah.
you
Better
do not
safe
want
than
to.
sorry at this point.
Don't want to do it in a marathon.
You do not want to miscraft the recipe because you will not get refunded the parts.
This one.
So if you craft something wrong, that is a big no-no.
That should be
That's
Especially
kind of the run dead.
if you're off your RNG route and maybe have more parts than you're used to.
Oh,
if you
yeah.
just were to do the manuing.
Yeah, that can happen. But we crafted successfully. We're going to go into the next stage, which is Fenri Lunaedge. We're immediately going to be equipping double jump. And we're also going to be immediately seeing in the first screen is the EX skill we got from Genblem, which is, I once again forget the name, it's been a while. It's the up slash, and it's fire elemental too. Every EX skill is actually tied to an element in this game. There's 2 of each element. This game has an elemental system with neutral, and then electric, fire, and ice, where ice beats... okay, don't let me lie here.
Also,
Yeah, sorry.
shout outs
Go
to
ahead.
using an upwards fire slash to melt the ice below you.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, we're going a secret route here. Taking the bottom entrance. What Chair just grabbed from the enemy right there with the Z-Knuckle is a key card. That'll let us get a second sub-tank. We haven't even mentioned the first one. We got a sub-tank in Noble Mandrago. Those are basically safety items. One is... Oh, no, for the key card.
It's fine. We'll
Okay.
just...
Yeah.
I accidentally tapped it in practice as well.
What a sub-tank will do is they will store excess energy, basically. If you're at full health and you pick up a health pickup, it'll go into your sub-tank, and you can use that energy whenever you like by going to the menu. It also only depletes as much as you actually need to refill in this game. That was not the case in most of the X games, I think.
So most of the reason why I normally just pick up the extra sub-tank is for the final boss. because I want a damage boost to deal additional damage to the boss, but ooh, that's a little bit of a hiccup. That's
That's
fine.
where the E-tank comes in clutch.
Take another... Shoot me. There we go, thank you.
This is also a very difficult section right here. Because this stage isn't hard, however, there's spikes all over the elevator, and we don't really want to wait for the elevator. We'd prefer to just go up. And the only way we can really do that is damage boosting and wall jumping on those spikes, which is pretty dangerous.
So we walked past the door where I would have used the keycard, but I dropped it accidentally. It's worth noting that I'm borrowing somebody else's controller right now because my own was giving issues in practice. Oh, there we go.
Too much use.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah. So the elemental system I was mentioning earlier, there's 4 elements: neutral, electric, fire, ice. Fire beats ice, ice beats electric, electric beats fire. This is Fenri Lunaedge. He's ice, and we have the fire up slash now. He does not like that. He takes a lot of damage from it. What we're going to be doing is just charge slash or charge knuckle. I think they do the same damage. Into the up slash and then into the down slash. That's a combo that works. It does a lot of damage.
All right, now we're getting the 2 intermission stages. The first one is pretty much a straightforward gauntlet, so Nordic, if you want to say anything, now's a good time.
All right. Well, we've got $40 that came in from Big Money Mark. Big Money Mark says, Big Money Mark here, donating some big-ish money to the most money event of the year. Thank you all for supporting such an amazing cause and keeping it big money year-round. Now let's get out there and grant some big money wishes. And that went towards the Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 anime percent and an ESA winter shirt. So thank you so much for your generosity, Big Money Mark.
All right. A lot of menuing there to equip some skills and change weapons. We like to actually use Buster for this stage. Long-range weapons pretty good for this section. Lecture said this is our first intermission stage. This is actually among the Megaman games with the most stages. This game has 16 stages. There's 2 intro stages, followed by you doing 4 of the Mutos Reploids, then getting interrupted by 2 intermission stages. Tactical refill there to get some more into the sub-tank. Then the other 4 Mutos, and then 4 like final stages. This one we're basically tasked with saving a bunch of humans in this village. They don't exactly appreciate our help. They kind of like scoff at us, but we will save them all. And there's a particularly funny one because there's a lot of flames. Like the village was kind of attacked. And there's one door where there's a flame right in front of it. Well, we can enter without taking damage. But when we exit, since Zero is completely centered, we will take the damage from the flame, and I find it funny every single time.
I mean, I guess Zero is a little bit of a dummy, I guess, immediately forgetting that there's a fire outside that he has to avoid, but hey,
Short-term memory loss. It's poor guy. He just forgot. He forgot.
Yeah, very carefully enter, and then unfortunately we cannot avoid the damage on the way out. Which is especially unfortunate because there's actually a quite hard boss, or quite dangerous boss coming up. So this is going to be Commander Kraft. He's very dangerous. He has lasers and everything, but the most dangerous thing about him is actually his knife. We really do not want to get hit by his knife.
There it is.
Yeah, go ahead.
I mean, it is basically a knife, but it is a very, very big knife too that you cannot underestimate.
There we go.
Yeah, like the knife can grab you and it'll transport you across the entire screen for as long as it can take you. Healing here is not uncommon. Didn't get the cool kill.
That's fine.
Unfortunate.
There we go.
What you saw Chair work into the combos there was the EX skill we got from Fenri Lunaedge, which is the Ice Blade. That is a grounded saber slash, and like at this point we basically have our boss combo components all together. I think the longest theoretical possible combo is like a triple slash into Ice Blade, into up slash, into down slash. Usually we're not going to be doing that because that takes a lot of time to execute, and the bosses, will hit us in the meantime. Usually we just go for something like charge slash into up slash into down slash. But it is possible to work it in on quite a few bosses, and you can also you can not get it and play Fenri on easy mode. That's what I do. But you can work it on a bunch of bosses, and it's pretty cool.
Yeah, I sometimes substitute the ice slash for like the double slashes and the triple combo.
I would also have to keep in mind, the order of the attacks that you're going to do, because they have the different priority system, as Titanion explained a bit earlier. So if you were to do this in the incorrect order, basically. You're cutting down on your damage drastically because, you know, you're doing the wrong move, and then you wouldn't be able to override the iframe and drop it.
Yeah, exactly. If you do down slash first, then you cannot follow up with anything. This right here is Hell. Quite literally. This guy's called Hell the Giant. I think he's a reference to Mayo the Giant from Megaman X3, the intro stage boss. This is one of my favorite fights in the game because this guy doesn't have a face hitbox. You can like go wild with combos here. You can up slash into his face and you will not get hit. You can down slash from his face. You have the double jump at this point. You can just kind of dance around his attacks, and usually like the fight goes a little differently every time. It's a very fun one, I think.
And there he goes.
Yeah, you can sort of freestyle it with like the 3 combo pieces that you can use.
Yeah.
And this was not the end of the stage. Ooh.
No way.
So we're saving the one cool human.
Yeah, pretty much. There's a little more to it than that, but yeah, we broke into a prison basically to just get one person back who was kidnapped by Kraft, and now breaking out of the prison again. This section is pretty difficult, I'd say, especially starting out when you're low on health. This is very good because it's going to fill our sub-tank to the fullest, but we might take a bunch of more damage here from the traps. We're going to try and take as little as possible because there's a long pathway at the end that you really do not want to die. And there's a bunch of enemies you can hear only via audio cues, so I'll shut up soon. And you do not want to die at the very end. These little dudes right here. Right, careful with the last spike pit, and we're out. I'm pretty sure every 0-4 runner has at some point died in either that spike pit or against the last enemy.
Yes,
it has
absolutely.
Definitely happened to all of us before.
Both have happened to me.
But not today.
Not today.
Yeah. That's the important thing.
We're going to forget the start of the run where that happened. None of those.
Look, that was just to get into the groove, you know, because it's quite late for us. I mean, I don't know where you guys are watching from, but if you look at that time in the lower right corner, it's about 2 a.m. for us. It's the last run of the day. We're going to make it a good one.
Yeah, for sure. So we've done our 2 intermission stages. That means we can return to beating up the Mutos. The next one is going to be Sol Titanion. And this is the first stage we're going to play on easy weather. What that does for the stage is you have this percentage counter at the top. That's basically how hot Zero currently is. Like there's sunlight everywhere, and it's intensely hot sunlight. So he heats up in the sun, and if he heats up to 100%, he'll take damage, and will continually do so until you stand in the shade. If you're on easy weather, that percentage counter goes up way less, and I think there's also more shade spots. Like there's larger shade spots in the boss, for instance.
Very good climb there. I love this stage when it goes well, because it looks so smooth.
It does. There's a lot of climbing in this stage. This is a very, very dangerous mid-boss. It does a lot of damage, but we're also very dangerous right now because we have one of the many best Z-Knuckle weapons in the game, the axe.
Best weapon in the game, for sure.
The axe...
You keep saying that.
The axe is basically just a charge slash on demand. It might do even one more point of damage, I'm not sure.
It's very similar.
Yeah. It is really handy. Like you saw on the Mech boss, you can wiggle it in and out of the hitboxes of things that don't have iframes. It doesn't work on Sol Titanion, but she likes to stay in the air a lot, and most of her combo pieces don't work. She's fire element, so she resists our up slash. So what we're just gonna do for the most part is just hit her with the axe, and then do a down stab. Because most of the time she's gonna be hanging out up here like that.
No, come on.
Another point with the double jump comes in handy a lot because we can actually reach her properly with that.
And that was the fight.
Yep. What I tried to do with those saw blades is I tried to keep one of them alive, because then she doesn't do anything for a little longer.
Yeah, the EX skill for Sol Titanion also does not really matter. It's a Buster EX skill. It's the Fire Buster EX skill. It's like a little spread shot. We don't really care for it. We actually get all of the EX skills, I want to say, except for that one. one of them doesn't end up being used, but we'd play the stage on hard anyway.
Yep.
You'll see why later.
Yeah. So I actually used to do the Soul Titanion stage on hard on my old route, which is fun because you can then kind of chip away at the boss's health, even when it's guarding the final boss.
Because I don't know if you've actually explained it, but what we saw him do during that last boss fight was when he was in the air, he was like quickly wiggling from left to right with his axe out to get multiple hit instances of that axe on the boss. Because normally per jump you would only get like one of them, which would drastically lower your DPS on that boss. But by doing the wiggle tactic, you can kill her very quickly.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing another dragon here, so we're gonna be, damage stacking with Time Stopper. There is an alternative strat for this one specifically. We use the Xenocle to grab one of the little seahorse dudes in the stage earlier. And then you actually damage stack with the up slash instead. It's quite interesting, because this guy's ice and also does not like fire. But that strat is very inconsistent and luck dependent. You generally do not want to do it. It looks cool if you can, but there's a high chance you don't get to show it off. We have a long staircase here. This part is surprisingly hard to get just right. There's so much they place right in your way.
Yay, iframes.
Yeah, the times you can like shoot the time stopper at enemies like that and they'll temporarily let you pass through. We saw it a little in Heat Genblem. It's also really useful right there. Coming up is Tech Kraken. We just hope that this boss gives us a pattern where we do not need to menu here. Because what he can do, one of his attacks is he goes into the background, and then thankfully the game gave us a way to like mitigate the time loss from that. And that's unfortunate.
We're gonna do that.
Because we can pull him out of the background and back into the foreground where we can hit him, but it does require menuing to the Xenocle, so that was unfortunate. We didn't even get the pull. That's unfortunate. Maybe we'll see it later. Oh no!
Oh, no.
He's being.
There you go.
There
He
we go.
really
See, Jer was
wants
just
to
showing
shut
that
the
off.
Yeah.
It was all for the demonstration.
At least he doesn't do one particular move where he just slowly floats up out of the screen and it wastes like 12 seconds or something. You can't do anything. You're just standing there thinking about your life's choices.
Yeah.
You love to see it. Not really.
No, not at all.
Alright, so from Tech Kraken we get the Ice Javelin. That's a Buster EX skill, the Ice Buster. What that does is it replaces our Charger with this like long ice spear of multiple components. It is a very strong ice-based attack, and so we're going to be taking down the electric bosses next. This is Pegasolta Eclair. This is, in my opinion, one of the more difficult stages.
Yeah.
There's a bunch of annoying stuff. There's a bunch of pits, bunch of spikes. This is where we meet the third of the dragons, the electric one. Once again, it feels like it has 1,000,000 HP. But there is also some potential cool Ice Javelin stuff. We're gonna be switching to Ice Javelin after we deal with the dragon because, of course, we need Time Stopper to deal with it until then. You can also freeze these wells right here. You can get up to the top. It's a little bit of a detour, but you don't have to deal with a lot of the enemies. You will get some health refills, so nice. So if you're willing to take that detour, that is an option you can do. That was very clean. It is very satisfying to get those good damage stacks off too. This is like, all of those, getting a lot of hits in is quite tight. But it's such a good feeling when you feel the hit lag, and it's so good.
These games just ooze style, and I love it.
Yeah, for sure.
We have a moment if Nordic wants to say some more.
Well, I mean, just a reminder that we are raising money for Make-A-Wish. They are granting, some amazing wishes for some children that have been facing some dire circumstances in their lives. And so far, we've raised $40,893. And here we are, middle of the night coming into Thursday. So I don't know about you. I think that deserves one big round of applause to everybody out there in chat, everybody donating. Thank you so much for your generosity.
All right, this is Pegasolta. Pegasolta's not a nice guy. He likes to dodge our every single attack usually. he takes a lot of damage from the Ice Javelin, and what you want to do with that is actually right there. You saw it very well. You want to place it right inside his hitbox, because the little orb that the spear comes out of also is its own hitbox that does a lot of damage. So if you place it right inside a boss, you'll connect with the entire spear and the damage from the orb, and it's a lot. Like you saw, it took like 2/3 of his health bar, I think, when it connected. Because, you know, Pegasolta is weak to it being an electric boss. But also in general, it's just a very strong attack. Pegasolta, that was actually a really nice one.
That was very
He can do a lot worse than that. And we played the stage on easy weather because we don't need his EX skill. If you play the stage on hard weather, and we will see this in the refights, spoilers, there's refights, coming up later.
A Megaman game?
No way.
What?
Yeah, you'll see there's like rain pushing you to the sides, and it is very nasty. This is Mino Magnus. We don't need this guy's EX skill, but we're playing on hard weather regardless, because what hard weather has is these low and high gravity fields, and you're going to see later on in the stage why we sometimes question if this is really the hard weather. It's going to be pretty interesting. Right here, it plays with a magnet gimmick. Zero has a certain polarity, and he's, you know, attracted by one and repelled from the other. We get high or low gravity depending on that. And I really like this section, actually. Like, playing with the low grav is really cool.
And now everybody get your crab rave ready.
Woo!
Look at him.
There's many ways to deal with this guy. There's like 3 strategies. You can pick up the axe again in the beginning of the stage. You can do what Chair is doing, which is using a combo of charge slashes and ice javelin and like wiggling the slash left and right. And you can also, if you're really good, you can like do time stop or damage stacking, but you have to do really high in midair. So that's like the least consistent method as far as I'm aware. But yeah, take one look at this and do please tell me how this is the hard weather for this stage. These low gravity fields are what the hard weather adds.
No idea.
Yeah. With double jump especially, we just kind of like jump over the entire second half of the stage, and we're right at the boss. Mino Magnus is our second electric type boss. There's also, you know, 2 bosses of each element, 2 neutral ones, 2 fire ones, 2 ice ones, 2 electric ones. So this guy also doesn't like ice javelin. It depends on what he does though, if we can get them in. This is good. This is an attack where he stays on the ground for a long time. We just kind of like bump in his face, get the full ice javelin off. We do a lot of damage. We're almost dead, but it doesn't matter because he dies first. Alright, was that the last one already?
That's the last of the 8.
Alright,
Now
yep.
we're on to the final stages.
Yeah, there's a whole bunch of cutscenes here. We've defeated all of the 8 Mutos or Reploids, and we're moving into the final stages. Let's see.
Oh, whoops.
Oh.
This is a save screen.
Oh yes, CL, after certain important points in the game, CL asks you if you want to save. It's very easy to just like continue mashing, and then you'll get the save prompt. You have to remember exactly when those are.
Alright, Nordic, you got a moment.
All right. I just want to remind everybody in chat that not only do your donations go to Make-A-Wish, but all of your subs, all of your cheers, you know, all of your Prime subs. If you've got Twitch Prime, remember you can use that here with us, and that will help to support the charity as well. So make sure that you know, you use any and all of the avenues available to you to get those donations in. Even if you don't have, you know, 10, 20 bucks to donate in our way, you can use your Twitch Prime sub, and that helps to support the cause as well.
Also, just looking at the total right now, we are just a little over $100 away from the 41,000, and this is the last run, the last live run of the day. So, can we make this happen, please? Come on.
Sure, we can. Alright, this is what I would say is the hardest stage in the game. This is the first of the final stages. So basically there's this giant space cannon that's, it was, you know, supposed to be piloted by the bad guy, but now Trav took over it, and we're trying to stop him. This section coming up is very hard. There's going to be a lot of platforming on these moving platforms over a pit / spikes. There's these slow-moving bomb enemies that try to bump into you. it is really, really difficult to get this fast. We're probably going to be taking this pretty slowly, I imagine.
Yeah.
Because you do not want to die here. You can do some like really, really far jumps if you know what cycle you're on. Get to the next platform. There's a couple ones on the ground that aren't moving like that. But generally, like, it's super risky. If you make a mistake, you will go back to the midway point. It's just like on PB pace runs, it is super easy to choke, especially if you know your PB is doing those harder strats. But that's the end. We're gonna be facing Kraft again. He's back, and his knife is still like the most dangerous thing. We'll see if we can get the cool kill this time.
We'll see.
He's also got like another health bar more, I think.
No, I think it's exactly the same.
Really? Was it from the original? It might have been.
No, hello.
That was a knife again.
Nice dodge on the laser.
Hello.
And I just really question his choice of armaments. Like in this gun, he has like a laser, he has mines, he has a couple different things, and then big knife.
Yeah.
It's the most dangerous thing he has.
Yeah.
Hey, if it's stupid and it works, is it
It's not really stupid.
Yeah.
It's just.
We shut down the guy who was like trying to control the space weapon and trying to fire a giant laser at us. The thing is, we didn't actually like shut down the giant space weapon itself. It's still like floating around there, and it is technically ready to be used by anyone. So,
Man, lucky are we that there's no evil space scientist. Oh.
About that.
Yeah, so the Ragnarok cannon is mysteriously fired anyway. I don't know who it could be. And we have to get up there once more, but the transmission's blocked, so we need to go through several hoops this time to actually get up there. There's 2 stages that basically just deal with getting Zero up to Ragnarok once more. The first one's like a control center-ish stage. The gimmick of this next stage is going to be your start in a central room, and then up, down, left, right. There's going to be 4 pathways. We have to hit a switch at the end of each pathway and then come back to the central room, and then we pray.
Yep. I do quite like the music in this stage. I mean, in general, it's a Megaman game. You know what the music is going to be like.
Yeah.
But this stage is just very nice.
Yeah, there's not too much to say about the stage otherwise. We are taking a somewhat specific order for these paths. It is absolutely mandatory that you do the left path before you do the downwards path, because it benefits from it so much.
Yeah.
We get a very important weapon for the Z-Knuckle.
Best Z-Knuckle weapon in the game.
True.
Again.
On the left path, or on the way back, we're gonna be getting. We're going to be hitting one of the enemies that we used for a part drop earlier. One of those Ganga guns right there. This part sucks, by the way,
Yeah,
because
this part
the
is,
junk falling from there
not-
is pretty random, and it does hit you for a lot.
We're kind of
Good
out
call
of
there.
extra health, but at this
Yeah.
point, if it's going to go this way.
A little rough. Yeah, on the way out of here, Cheer's going to grab one of the Ganga guns on the far right. And that gives us a giant drill. And the bottom section happens to deal with a lot of blocks that we need to destroy. And what you're supposed to do is use those slow floating bomb mines. Wait for like 20 seconds as they move into you, and then you can like reflect them and have them explode in the blocks. We're not going to do any of that because that's super slow. We're going to use the drill and just break straight through. It is so much of a time saver, and it saves us a huge headache as well.
I think it was like 2 minutes or something like that. Roundabout.
It feels like it.
Yeah, it feels like it. I want to say like somewhere 50, 60 seconds.
It's probably closer to a minute, but it feels like 5 years.
Maybe a minute and a half if you're really unlucky or if you miss one shot.
There we go.
That was clean as well. Got them all in one swoop. That's what we want to see. Like, otherwise that section just takes an eternity and a half.
Alright, while we make our way back and over to the other switch, I think we might want to explain the boss here.
Oh yeah, so the boss of the stage is called, very fittingly, Random Bandom. And that is exactly what he is. He's random. So it's gonna be this little orb in the center of the stage. We want him to just like stay there and do an attack. He has 3 health bars. There's one attack, well, he only has 2 attacks. So there's one attack where he just stays in the center and shoots these bullets out in a circle pattern twice. And he stays there long enough in the middle that you can just one-cycle all of his 3 health bars. If it's the other attack, after about a health bar's worth of damage, he'll go into the background, do a very long and slow attack, and he has the potential to do that again afterwards. So, like, we can see a free cycle on this, and we really don't want to, because all of those individual attacks take a lot of time, but it is unfortunately just up to luck, and it really seems like you get the attack where he just bounces around the screen more often than you get the one where he stays still, so we'll just have to see what happens.
Alright, praise to RNG.
Good luck. It's laughing menacingly too! It knows!
That's
This is not what we want to see.
Yeah, this is the attack. So you see we got about a health bar worth of damage off, and now we have to wait for this. There is actually technically a flashy thing you can do on this attack. We have the tractor shot from Mino Magnus, the X skill that we got by playing on hard weapon, even though we didn't need to. This is the good attack. We can finish the fight on it.
Yeah.
That's good at least. But you can suck up all those bullets and fire them at him for like, I want to say at least a health bar's worth of damage. It's pretty funny. Wait, we got a 2 cycle. That was all right.
Yeah, we take that.
For some reason, 3 cycles seem to be the most common, even though they really shouldn't be.
Alright.
Alright, we've got 2 stages left.
Yep.
The next stage is going to be Megaman Battle Network, basically.
That's one way to put it.
Yeah,
Shout out to our friends at Team BN.
true. Yeah, this is going to be the Cyberspace stage. This is also one of the more difficult ones. This one's featured in the Z-Chair summon in the Legacy Collection. This stage is... Yeah,
Also really hard.
yeah. There's a lot of, just tight platforming. There'll be a lot over pits later. There's these rotating electric things that you want to make specific cycles with. There's an optimal way to get through here, but it's really easy to just make one tiny mistake and then everything's off. Because all the cycles here are global, which is not very nice.
Take this a little slower than usual because I don't have the sub-tank.
Yeah.
Well. There we go. That's fine. There's more health here. This one.
It's not the most problematic of stages, but it can definitely easily trip you
I
up.
mean, this room used to be the worst before I got into the double jump route. And you'll very clearly see why, because there's a lot of instant death here.
Yeah, the double jump helps us greatly. There's these moving platforms that we can't exactly see too far ahead because this is a GBA game. Chair made that nicely. We know where these blocks are, thankfully, because they're not moving, and we can just jump across them. And we're on to the boss. This boss here is called Cyball. It's called that because we're in cyberspace and it's an eyeball. Do you get it?
I just call him Orb.
True. This is a pretty difficult boss because, as you can see already, he likes to spend time off the stage, and we're also on these platforms that are top solid. And another feature that you will see Chair use right here, going from the top platform to the middle, is you can if you hold down and then jump, you'll just go through the platform, and it is actually very easy to accidentally do that on the bottom platform and just fall to your death. You're playing on very unsafe territory here. The boss likes to be far away from you where you can barely hit it. That is pretty nasty. You really want to hit it, but it's hard.
Yeah,
There's a bunch of attacks that can do. It's just kind of nasty.
It's a really annoying fight, just generally.
There's the optimal strats for this fight. Don't scare me.
Gotta keep people on their toes, right?
Yeah. Thanks. Everybody awake again?
Waking up. Yeah, waking everyone up here.
All right. Good.
The optimal strats for that are pretty incredible. As it goes through the middle, you can technically get a lot off, but it's really difficult. I recommend watching the Z Chaser, Double Z Ghost, or some of their records on this, though. It's really good.
Well, at this point, I think I'm going to excuse myself and head back to the hosting station for the end of the run and for the end of the evening. But good luck on the rest of the run. Thank you so much for having me here. And yeah, we'll see.
The pleasure as always. Looking at that total, we are 50. $57 away from the 41,000. Come on, people.
We can
Come on.
get that.
One final push as we are heading into the finale here.
This is the longest stage in the game, so it does give you the most time to donate and hit that.
I wonder why it is the longest stage. What happens in the Megaman game at the end?
Dr. Wily,
Dr. Wily?
on his knees.
Yeah,
No, but,
Eyebrows,
He does the thing
capsule?
with the eyebrows, right?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
wiggle, gotta have the wiggle.
but Dr. Wily isn't in this game.
Oh, god damn it.
And there's a guy that looks kind of similar,
Yeah, he is.
but I don't think he has that good, that flashy eyebrow.
No. He just has the bald head and think it's basically Mitako.
He looks like a pizza slice.
Mitako looks like a flying pizza?
Oh,
What?
hey guys,
That's new.
listen, look, it's refights.
That's it. Of course.
Yeah, it's a tradition. Most of the Mega Man games have these. It's refights. There is something interesting about these, like I mentioned earlier. These will all be on quote-unquote hard weather conditions. So you will see a couple different things, like you'll see Pegasolta with rain. You'll see Soul Titanion with more sunless shade. There's not that much that differs in general. The Noble Mandrago is a little easier because we now have all of our combo techniques. The same goes for Popla Cocapetri. The
chicken.
rest...
The chicken.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
The rest is nearly identical. Depending on whether you do Fenri on easy weather or hard, this is a difference because on easy weather there's no ice floor here. So like, I'm not used to fighting this guy on ice floor, but I have to here. We're also going to be doing something. We're going to be doing a very specific order on the bosses. Currently, the two weapons we have equipped are Saber and Knuckle. We're going to be having those equipped for 6 of the bosses because it's what we want for those 6. And then we're going to switch out the Knuckle for the Buster and equip the Ice Javelin because the 2 bosses we're going to leave for last are the electric ones, Mino, Magnus, and Pegasolta, Eclair. And then we're doing that because we also want to be on Buster for the section right after. There's a little section between the end of the refights and the final boss. So like coming into it with this layout, then doing all the bosses that require this layout, then switching, doing the bosses that require the Buster, and then having the Buster for the section for the finale is optimal. There's also going to be 2 health pickups in this refight room. After every single boss, we can like kind of use them to fill our sub-tank if needed. Like sometimes, depending on the health chair currently has, you can opt to either pick the first or the second one, like the small or the large one first, and fill your sub-tank accordingly, because you need to be at max health to fill it. No. That was a pretty nice fight for Popla. Yeah. That was much nicer than
Froze
the
me
original.
twice, but that's about it.
That was a little rude, more than anything.
Yeah. Trying to make me not go fast.
Yeah. I'm a little worried about the final boss, unfortunately, because we don't have that second sub-tank. It like still does a lot of damage. I think we can just take it safer. Try not to damage boost as much, maybe. It's a very risky fight if you go for like optimal strats, but we can try and go somewhat safe.
Oh no!
It is.
There it is.
Marathon Luck striking again.
Yep.
So, where's he going? There he is.
Just awkward silence there.
At least you had to slice him in half. That's the thing with
Look, he was just trying to give the audience or the viewers more time to donate so we can reach that $41,000 milestone.
Do it. Yeah, doing something.
Not much to say here.
Nah.
Genblem, he can stay on the ground a lot longer, and like sometimes he will also just dodge seemingly forever. Like he like curls back a little, throws his head back into his shell, and just like dodges the attack somehow. You can get really good damage on him on the ground if he does decide to stay, but yeah, usually he'll just go for that. Nice.
Very clean.
If you kill one of the bosses in the Zero Series with a Saber, if you let that finishing blow, they will get sliced apart like that. Then ZX Advent in 2 games from now also added an animation for the Buster doing that if you land the final blow with a charge shot, which is pretty cool.
All right.
Yeah, at this point, we switch to Buster. We'll see if Mino gives us the same good pattern from last time, or if he does some of the more wacky things. This is one of the funniest attacks in the Megaman series, in my opinion. I love it.
So, Exodia?
I've never thought about it like that, but you're so right.
Yeah, no, I see it.
You're so right.
There on the screen.
I see it.
Yeah, that was still fairly good.
Good enough.
He can grab you, and then you get polarity. You get really heavy, and he like chucks you across the screen, grabs you again, like jumps up, he chucks you down. It does a lot of damage. It's not nice. And yeah, this is Pegasolta with Rain. This Rain's also going to be changing directions every once in a while. On top of Pegasolta being annoying. This is like one of the worst fights.
Yeah. Come on, buddy.
There we go. There's his electric attack.
one even.
He's invincible, goes across the screen. Is a coward. We do not like to see it.
Get down here.
It is so easy to like focus on Pegasolta too much and your damage output as well that you just end up falling into a pit without reflecting.
That boss is like a casual player's nightmare.
Oh yeah.
He just chucks people in holes so many times.
All right, that's the refights. We're moving on to the final part. We will be grabbing the axe, the best knuckle weapon in the game, because it is in the section at the end.
Yep.
We will be using that for the most part for the final boss. That's going to be our main damage dealer. We can still like get in hits, like additional hits with the second and third hits of the triple slash or the up slash and down slash, because the axe just has the priority value of the normal slash, so we'll be doing that. But most of the damage is just going to be dealt by the axe. So we haven't really talked about much about the villain in this game. It's Dr. Wild, the funny pizza slice man. He kind of like he wants to like crash this thing, the Ragnarok on Earth, and blow it up along with everyone on it. And we kind of like handle him do that. So let's finish him off. This is a two-phase fight, and it is quite hard. We have to do both phases in one go as well. There's no checkpoint or anything, and we do only have that one sub-tech.
That's good.
This is one of the best attacks to see. Like, he can do some nasty attacks here, some really slow ones. He can also do an awesome attack that I personally want to see. Wait. It's the one! Alright, so this is an attack where he summons a set of Zero free bosses. We saw right there was the mascot of the Zero speedrunning community, Glacier Lacactan. Can we get a huge shout out to him, please? He's like the best boss in the Zero series, period.
He's just this big, weird, lumpy guy with big, weird arms.
Oh, we're gonna see the second one as well. This is the first set of Zero free bosses. They have a lot of nice callbacks here. Like this is Devil Bat Schlitt, Children Arabida. We had Blazing Blizzard, Deft Hand Mantis. It's a really cool fight. This guy's a lot of attacks.
Yeah. Final boss. Awesome music.
Yeah. Time is going to be as soon as this phase's health hits 0. It's pretty dangerous to get hits in here. He has to open up, first of all. Which technically, there's a funny task out there of someone like manipulating an attack button that has him never open up. He has a lot of dangerous attacks. Most of our hits are going to be involving us getting hurt in some form as well. It's really nice when that doesn't happen. There was one convenient attack where he just shoots the horn forward like this one. We can just get a bunch of hits in, usually while taking damage. This health burst the lost, so time's coming up very soon. You got that?
Yep.
Okay. Yeah, it's really easy for this fight to go wrong. You can easily take too much damage from trying to focus on your damage output too much, but that is... this is one where he doesn't open up. This is the other one where he doesn't open up!
Oh. Look, he's just making this very fun for the viewers.
Just in case, you know.
And that is...
Not yet, but I'm gonna...
Time!
And the space laser crashes down.
Yeah, it actually explodes mid-space. That's like, we kind of blew ourselves up with it. There's kind of a reason that there's not a 0-5, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I mean, it's Capcom. Come on. They could probably just bring them back if they want.
And just to see the IGT, which is a little different, but it's fun to see sometimes. Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, the leaderboard sees real time, but IGT is also a nice reference point at the end of the row.
So yeah, that's Megaman 04. Of course, I want to say, hey everybody that's up, thanks for staying up so late and watching this. Hope you all had a good time. This game means a lot to me personally. So anytime I get to play it, it's just wonderful. Yeah, follow me on Twitch or whatever if you want.
Follow him.
And these two as well. They're pretty great.
But mostly this guy.
Yeah. That'll be it.